Ka-chow. All right. Good? Hold on, I'll zoom out just a tad. Good. Morning, chili dogs. What you focus on? Grows. Feed them horses. Good chow. Today, guys, we will be throwing. Finally. I feel like everything else I do is just to make sure I can throw again. Camera A. Desk. Mini wheel. Camera B. Alrighty, guys. So let's cut up this clay quick. Need half a bag, so grab a little wire tool here. Cut right down the middle. I say, be gone. Then we're gonna grab that chunk that we just had and rewrap this back up. Give it a little spin. And get this guy out of here. We'll wedge this one up here quick. And then we'll start our throwing process. We got our clay all ready. Camera A. We'll see what we're gonna do here, because we do need to do some other things today. So we're C. That's pretty zoomed in. Zoom. This is actually going to be kind of nice if we have it just like this. We're not going to worry too much about the zoom from here. What else do I need? I think I'm all good. Oh yeah, I want to switch this over so I can see. Sorry guys. Camera A. Okay. Seal that bottom edge. Get some water. Push down. And then first project that clay at the bottom in. So watch what happens. In, right? So do you see how this is slowly lifting up? There's this little lump here. And that's where I'm gonna have my hand over on this side. And I'm slowly gonna be pushing my left hand, that's the one behind the clay right now, into that hand that's right in front. And just like that, you can bring up that little chunk of clay there. We're gonna do this one more time. So we're gonna go right back down to the bottom. Slowly project that forward. Tilt this over and have that hand kind of catch that wobble as I'm bringing that back down to that center, right? So again, I'm tilting that forward, having the hand right to that other side there. Push that down, up underneath. And again, you push in and you scoop that clay up, right? We're gonna start with just this little amount on the top here, right? Cut off this little chunk. Thumb in, thumb out, thumb up. Maybe a little bit too tall. Close in. Space. How about we just do close in, camera B. Is this okay? Space. Space. Oh, this is space. I guess this should be fine. Let me know if you guys, if the image is too dark, let me know too. Water on the inside. Get that out of there. Can't be swimming. No swimming on the inside of my vessel. We just want to make sure we smooth out that base, slowly find our corner, and go out from where our corner starts. And slowly walk that up. Just like that, we got a little vessel. It's dark. Okay, let me lighten this up a little bit then. Gotta get all this clay off my hand quick. Oh, what? Okay. Image setting. Scroll down. This should be okay. Let me know if that's better. Alright. Get some of this water out of the inside there. Good? Sweet. Okay. We're going to round off this top little chunk. Around the top here, we're going to say hello. This top edge. On and off, take our finger on the inside. There we go. Right down to the bottom. Go in with the sponge. Kind of like a 45-degree angle here, right? And just slowly do this. And you'll notice that it will kind of like push the top part off center just a tad. But don't worry about that really, because as long as this was centered beforehand, right, before we started messing around with this bottom, when we flip it over, it's going to be even to the top. And so then that's all we got to do is just trim it properly, and then it'll all be even again. Okay, right underneath. Grab a little wire tool here, right underneath. Stop halfway through. Wipe your hands. Get ready. Shelf. Right down here. We gotta bring this down. We'll push it as we go along here. Oh, little dude right there. Get that guy out of there. And so we'll fill this up slowly as the time goes by today. Camera A. A little bit of water. Zoom. Bring this up. Bring this down. And look, see, the coolest part about throwing off the hump is you don't have to worry about this stuff down here being off center, right? So thumb in. Close in. Space. Okay. Thumb inside. We're gonna first try to even out our walls. We're not too worried about anything other than just evening out those walls. If we get some height from that, that's fine. We're not, but our goal is not to get height on that first thing, right? Next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna go right underneath and slowly pop out this at the edge here. Wait until it starts getting thin and then take it up from where that thin spot is, right? Okay. We're going to get some of the water out of the interior here. And we're checking out, what does the inside look like? Okay, we have a little peak in that middle, right? Okay, we got to get rid of that little peak. Right underneath. Slowly, starting from that middle, finding our corner. We're going to check and see if we got a nice flat bottom there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. Just a little bit more water. Okay, route again to the side, smooth, smooth, smooth. Try to find a little bit of an edge here. Go around, give it a little small bump, and we'll swap this right into a double bump form. There we go. Usually with these double bump forms, like, I like to see the whole breadth of a pole, right? So like the fact that you can see some of those lines there, I think is actually like a good thing, right? But other people would say that's like not good. So for right now, what we will do is we'll take this little corner here. And slowly smooth out some of those lines. And there we go. So we got a nice, kind of a weird looking form here. We will go down underneath with this. We'll round off that top edge maybe and give us a little bit of a bevel. Smooth out that clay. And how are we thinking here? I think we want to bring this bump a little bit up. Because it's wanting to fall here, right? So you can kind of see it wanting to fall. So this might kind of screw things up. We might even have to reset this. Okay. So just lifting up that bump so then we can redefine that bump on the bottom here. Because it was just a little bit too much. I think that looks way better. So do you see how it has a little bit more lift right on that bump? And so that's all we had to do was just lift that up for a second and then we were all good. Okay. Again, right underneath. that. I'm a little bit thin there, so I'm worried that I'm getting too thin. Anyway, we'll be right underneath. And again, cut a little chunk right off this bottom. A little bit of water. And so we kind of destroyed this one a little bit. You know, you can see that that top is not totally, it's almost a little bit oval-like. But again, a lot of that gets fixed. Shelf. When we go to trim these stuff down, right? Okay. There we go. Space. Close up. It's down just a tad. Open. Thumb in. Thumb out. Thumb up. Out to the side, up. Smooth out that interior a little bit, right? Again, right off to the side here. Get ready. Start bringing this little bump out. All right. So, here's right underneath this little edge, coming up. Right underneath, a little bit of water. Slowly pop this up. There we go. A little water right underneath. Get ready. Again, take this off. Right underneath, halfway through. Halfway, stop. Wipe our hands. Right underneath, pick this up. Right over here. Hello. Alright, so you guys can kind of see that we're slowly making our way through the clay here. Camera A. Space. Down. Beautiful. Why am I holding my breath? You don't have to hold your breath. It's all good. Even if something gets messed up, we're still cruising, you know? All right. Thumb in. Thumb out. Thumb up. Get our little vessel formed. Get ready. First pull. Zoom. There we go. Water on the inside. Go in a little bit at that base, but then we're just going to go straight up. So slow that wheel down just a tad as we're taking up this little bump. Okay, now we're going to do some shaping here. So find that corner. Stop for a second. Again, come out. Stop for a second. And come out. Stop for a second. There we go. Right off this top edge there. We may have gone a little bit too thin on this edge, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Sometimes if you have a really, really thin edge, I feel like you're actually doing yourself a disservice there. Again, some water right underneath. Right underneath this edge. You ready? Halfway. Wipe our hands. Underneath. Head on over. Off this side here. Welcome aboard, friend. Cut this off. Here we go. Thumb in. A little bit of water. Thumb out. And watch this hand come up and under. Thumb up. There you go. You get a little vessel form here. First thing you do whenever you find a new vessel is even out those walls. You want to get them all even. Not thin, just even, right? Okay. Got our little nice even thing here. Okay. Do something a little bit new for you guys. Collar this in. A little water. And so if you ever wondered how people make those like Japanese style looking vessels, they usually do something called faceting, and I actually kind of like the... From this point, if you wanted, you could level this top out, right? But I actually think that there's something kind of like organic about it, so I'll leave it. But it's going to be kind of a nightmare to trim, so keep that in mind as you're doing this stuff, right? Just to show you guys something a little bit different, you know? Right over here to the side. All right. All right, what should we do next? So something that you gotta remember, camera A. Camera A. So you'll see is every time I do that, sometimes I'll fold clay over, right? And if clay gets folded over itself and there's water in between, it's not gonna stick. So usually if you ever see me do a little reset, I'm trying to get off, you'll see on this left hand here, all these like clay that's kind of stiff, but it just wasn't attached, right? So we're just trying to get all that stuff off, right? A little bit of water, bring this up. Okay. We'll do a spiral one for you guys right now. So thumb in. All right, a little bit of water from the outside here. Smooth out that base just a little bit there, right? So slowly walking that base to that corner edge. Now we find that corner edge, okay. This is where we're gonna sit for a second, right? We're gonna take our hand from underneath and we're gonna pop this up. Then we've established this corner, right? Alright, so here we go. Slow down, and here we go. And so we're doing a little spiral up the side of the vessel. And making sure that you keep that breath tucked in so you kind of get a nice little consistent distance between that middle chunk there. We gotta kind of sit on this top to re-level this out here. There we go. Okay. Smooth this out. And what I'll do is make a little line indentation right along this top edge. That's all we want to do is create a little bit of a glaze catch here. And so then we can go a little bit thicker with our glaze application, right? Zoom. How come I'm not putting them in the box? I don't know. Do you remember how last time, I'm just trying a different thing, but if you remember from last time when we were doing this, when I would set them in the box, I could only set in a certain amount because I couldn't fit my hands inside the box without my hands bumping into it. So I felt like I was distorting a lot of that, the vessels by me hitting my hand into the box. So I was like, well, you know what I'll do? I gotta come down and I gotta make sure they're drying properly anyway. And so I'll just make sure that those tops get dry enough that I can set them into the bins rather than setting them into the bins right away. Does that make sense? Okay. And so watch. So you'll see my hands can fit on both sides here, right? And I'm not like hitting something with my side. So I can actually lower it into place. I can lower this one into place and not have my hands impeded. So just kind of saves me some more time. Anyway, camera A. We're just coning this up slowly. We just got to make sure we get all this clay that's not really attached off. So I have this like weird middle chunk here that's not attached, right? I keep peeling off some gunk there. So we just got to keep that in mind as we're getting close to the end of these vessels here. So little thumb underneath. Thumb in, zoom, zoom. Somebody said, how old was I when I began doing this? You have talent. I would say I was probably, I think I was 20 years old. If I was 20. So you see I did a pull where I had my exterior hand over top so I can get myself kind of this weird rim. I'll flare this out, I think. Let's see here. I actually don't know what I'm going to do with this. So maybe we'll do something kind of weird. Okay. Get some water. How thick are we on this bottom? Bring this up and we can bring this out just a tad. Again, we'll go right underneath. Kind of make sure that transitions a little bit nicer. Right over this top edge. Kind of going up. And then sit here and then slowly flare that top. Gotta make sure this tension point doesn't get fully collapsed. But you can see how now we have a rim instead of it caving in. Okay. Alright, right underneath. Yeah, I was a drawing major, and I gave up on drawing, essentially how the story goes. Gave up on drawing, and then I was like, I gotta get my butt into gear here. And so I just kind of full-fledged went into the pottery stuff here. Camera A. So you see this little stuff this stuff might come off, right? And so watch. Look at all that stuff. We don't want to put that into the clay though, right? Because it's not from the main hump, right? And so again, right here there's a bunch of that clay that's not fully attached. So again,
find our bottom. In the middle, slowly walking out to our corner, define our corner. Maybe cut in underneath that corner a little bit so we can get some better lift on the bump. Slow down and walk this bump up. Keep that bump in sight the whole time. And it's just a little lift, right? It's like your friend, he's falling off a cliff and you need to lift him up the cliff, right? That's all you're doing right there, saying, I got you, buddy. Okay. Go in. Maybe I'll get a little bit of water on the inside. It's right underneath. Clean off. Oh, nice. Little tool here, smooth this out right against that nice wooden rib. Flip that rib around. We say, hello, rib. Are you a shaping tool? No. You are a trimming tool. And we love trimming tools. Right from the top. Edge. Actually, might need to get some water out of that side. Off the top. There we go. What am I working on today? I'm back on, this is batch number 3 of the cup, so I'm working on batch number 3. So for the next couple of days, we will be throwing, which is the most fun. The aunt cups? Aunt? What does that mean? Oh, my aunt. No. I've been making like a off the hump thrown. Those were different. This comes from my aunt. They've been done. My aunt already has them. I've been doing like throwing off the hump vessels for maybe this past month. I've made like close to 100. I wanted to make 200 before spring. And so I've been posting about them. I finished the video for batch 2 maybe like 5 days ago. You ever thrown with porcelain? How did you find it? I mean, every porcelain, like when you touch porcelain, every person who mixes their own like batch of porcelain, it's not like you go out into the earth and you find like porcelain. It's like a bunch of clays mixed together to form the porcelain that you're throwing with, you know, so they all kind of feel a little bit different. But I think one thing I've noticed about a lot of them is it reminds me of oobleck. Sometimes they're really dry and powdery. I feel like you don't have a lot of structure, so the best way I describe throwing with porcelain is like, you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Would you consider yourself a waterbender? Then you'd like porcelain, right? If you're an earthbender, dude, stoneware all the way. Oh yeah, I'm too aggressive for porcelain. I just feel like if you want to sit on the wheel and you just want to like get hypnotized by the feeling of throwing and you don't really care about what you're making, then porcelain is fun, right? But if you care more about like manipulating and like sculpting on the wheel, right? And you like to kind of have like, you kind of like to be a little bit more like, a little bit more mean to the clay, right? Then I would say that stoneware is the way to go, yeah. Smoothing this clay out. There we go. Half a bag, so probably about 12.5 pounds, the whole thing there, you know? I think that's the fun part about throwing off the hump, is as you're throwing, things slowly, you know, they melt, the clay just sort of melts away. Beyond cups. Oh, that was from earlier. You said you're an airbender, most OP element. Alright, alright, alright. Airbending, I feel like you get some cool abilities, but imagine you could just like construct a house in 1 second, right? Like, think about if there was a real life earthbender. Yeah. You'd have the best construction business in the whole entire universe. You said you're too aggressive for porcelain? Cool. How many pounds did I start with these? The whole thing, each of them is like, varies probably like from a pound to 2 pound variation, you know, somewhere like that, I think, right? There are houses everywhere that can fly too. You're saying if the airbenders like worked alongside the earthbenders? All I'm saying is I think the practicality of being an earthbender is just like next level, you know? Alright, I think we'll do like some weird scratchy lines on this one. I gotta make sure I keep on screwing with you guys, you know? Just when you think you got me figured out on the next cup, I gotta mess with you guys a little bit. This is the best tool ever, by the way. I'll show you guys in a second. Rusty, rusty. Look at it, rusty, crusty, dude. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I agree to disagree. Airbending is the best. Okay. Do I ever make tiny pots? If so, are they harder to make? I don't know. I just don't really make the tiny pots too often. I just think like tiny pots are like really a digital thing, right? Like I don't think there's many people like pre-digital era who are making like tiny pots. But maybe I'm like wrong, right? Like those mini little vases and stuff. I feel like that is definitely like came to be because of all the digital stuff. But there's probably people who did it, but I just think it's not as well known. So I think, is it harder? Not really. It's just different, right? It's like when you throw really large, like you're just throwing different, right? It's not like it's harder or easier, right? What is the most common mistakes you can make? That I make personally, I would say my most common mistake personally would be that I actually really hate that. I gotta wet this whole surface first. I'm actually too thin too. All right, let's see if we can get a better version of this. It's not really that much better, guys. This looks terrible. I thought I was keeping you guys on your toes, but I was actually just screwing up my own vessels. Why do we not have no music? We'll probably kill this one, to be honest, guys. I'll give you guys another one. I'm just a little bit too thin, so when I cut, it's buckling rather than... Let's pop that out there. This looks fine, I guess. It's just those lines aren't really lined up properly, and I guess that's where we'll put the handle for this one. But if I'm looking at the actual like the texture on there, it looks kind of crummy. So we'll put the handle where we have that gap, and then we'll call this one a day. We'll call this one a day. Call this one done. We'll give you guys another one with that little line thing, and I'll give you guys a better example of what that can look like. Right underneath. Okay. Right underneath. Camera B. Get in right underneath. Welcome to the board. Camera A. They were a big thing in ancient Rome, high-class culture. Really? Okay. Tiny pots. Yeah, I feel like I just, they don't interest me too much, other than like, you can make some pretty like cool looking forms like visually, and just scale them up by taking close-up images, right? So, okay. them in. So we got a lot of soft clay. We'll do a slight little pull here. We want to keep the walls pretty thick though. Okay. We kind of pulled it over at that very end you saw, but I think we got it good enough. Do we leave them? I think we gotta do the lines. Why does it always say that I'm not here? I am here. It keeps saying my video is paused. Am I still watching? Yeah, I'm still watching. Okay. Oh, we totally split it open. Oh, that's kind of sad. We didn't really want that. Well, I think we gotta call this one dead, because I think no matter what, it's just gonna keep on splitting open. So sad. Well, it was gonna look cool. Not anymore. We'll see if we can just do a smaller version of it. So sad. So when I cut in with that, the one side, I just did it a little bit too much, right? So just on the surface we have to be. Smooth, 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 smooth. So you have to do kind of some just interior pulls. So one hand pulls there to get it to be the shape that we're kind of looking for there, right? But kind of fun. We have one that's kind of weird where they're too close to each other. But again, wherever that overlap is, that's where I usually put the handles so it's less noticeable, right? And so I should just be taking more time with that, but alas, I am not. Camera B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 and one mess up. So sad, guys. But hopefully we got some cool variations here for you guys. Lift these up here. What time is it? How long have I been streaming for? So I threw the whole 12 under the hour mark. I'm gonna stop. We could keep on going. Camera A. Yeah, we could keep on going, but that's my bad, guys. I should have been a little bit more, what's the word? I feel like I should have been a little bit more talkative. Usually if I talk a whole bunch, I'll at least go to like an hour 30. Somebody said, that's looking so chill. What do I need to start? I would just get a, don't even get a powered wheel. Just get a little, it's called a banding wheel. Get a nice, the best ones are these dark blue ones. They're kind of heavy. I think they're Shimpo banding wheels. They're really, really good. So I just think that those ones for sure are the ones that I would just get one of those and just start taking clay and trying to make something on a wheel, right? And watch some like coil building videos. Like powered wheels are a little bit more expensive, so I would say like don't get a powered wheel right off the cuff, you know. But maybe you do get a powered wheel off the cuff. Who cares, right? If you want to do it, then who is some online dude gonna saying something about it, gonna stop you, right? Just go for it. Yeah, I guess we will just turn the music off now. And that's it. It's a little bit strange to be done so soon. I feel like usually I'm not done. And I still got like a little bit of other stuff I'm gonna have to do. Is this scratch against this at all? No? Oh. Look. So we got some cool ones there. I thought about making a structure that it fits on my wheel head, right? And it becomes like a little like stages, right? Because do you see how I have 2 layers and you can't even see the other sides of it, right? Like you can't see the ones in the back. What if I made a structure that was like little boards that fit like 5 pots on them? Then I stack them like boom, 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 boom. And I stack them, so that's all you see in one image is all the ones I threw from that day. I don't know, guys. I feel like we gotta do that. But then I have to, I think I'd want to get a green screen, so I'd probably have to go to like a place that would fabricate my design for it. But anyway. He says, I guess it's time for more shorts. Yeah, maybe. Thank you for the advice. Yeah, start simple and get a taste of it. Thank you for the stream. Yeah, of course. Thanks for stopping in here. I appreciate it. Okay. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm gonna rinse my hands. I'll stop the stream here. I wonder. I feel like maybe I finished all the water whistles too, so I gotta get those transported. What time is it on the? It's just 6 o'clock. Well, you know what? Maybe I just go get food. I'll get some food, and then I'll take a shower, clean off all this mud. And then I think that's all she wrote for me. Do some short stuff maybe. Okay. Peace out, guys. If I could get my mouse to work here.